I can't belch on command though.
You can't?
The fake belch. All right, you all, I'm Forrest. This is my corner. We're gonna talk about presets today. We're doing part 2 of 3. Part 1's up in the corner. Check it out if you haven't already. Oh yeah, and also this is Forrest Corner, little corner of the world over here. I like it. Today though, we're gonna look at how you can use other people's presets. Now, a couple quick cautions. Number 1, presets should not be a crutch. I was working with a photographer about a month ago on helping him get his consistency up there. And what he showed me, his images that he brought originally to me were they just looked like he clicked a preset, clicked a preset, clicked a preset on every single photo. They didn't have variety to them, and we want to see that variety. So my goal today is to show you guys how to use presets from other people, how to use presets from your favorite photographers. So many people have their presets out there that you can buy or get for free, whatever it is. But more than that, I want to show you how to take those presets that you get from other people and use them as a learning tool, because there's no hidden like magic in Lightroom. When you click a preset, it drags your sliders some cool way. You can go in and see what's happening. So if you find that preset that gives you that perfect look that you're just after and you're just so happy about it and you're loving the look of the photo, it's probably even not as good as it could be. You could probably take that preset, work with it a little bit, adjust some things, and get it even better. So let's take a look at how to install presets from other people and also how to edit those presets and make them better for yourself. All right. Let's do this thing. So when you're ready to install a preset, we're gonna go ahead and walk through that process now, but there's a couple things I need to get out of the way first. Number 1, they made it much easier to import presets in the newest release or update of Lightroom. So if you don't have the newest version of Lightroom Classic, you're definitely gonna wanna update that. If you don't have the newest version, you can still do it, but the way that you're gonna import those presets depends on the manufacturer or the maker of those presets. Some people will give you a little installer file to install those presets, some won't. Basically, they made it much easier with the latest release. So I'm gonna proceed as if we all have the latest release. Again, if you need that, you can just go into Lightroom, you can go up to Help up here, and we can just go to Updates. And that will let you know whether you have any updates for Lightroom. So make sure you've done that if you haven't already. So this is how easy it is. First thing you need to do is obviously download the presets you want. For me, I have some presets from Visco or VSCO or Vosco, however you want to say it. They make really great film emulation presets. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm a fan, I think they make good stuff. But I want to show how to import those. And we're not going to import all of them, but we're going to import one in particular that I really, really like doing landscape photography. Again, your results may vary. So what we want to do in order to do this is first off know where your presets are. So if I minimize Lightroom here, I have a folder on the desktop called Visco Film 04. That is the folder of presets. And if I open it up, we can see there are a bunch of presets in here ready for importing. You'll know it's a preset if it has the .lr template file extension. That indicates that something is a preset and you can use it in Lightroom as such. So we know where they are. Next thing we want to do is go into Lightroom. We want to take a photo and take it into the develop module. So hit D for develop, bring in the develop module. And then from there, all we got to do is go to the presets tab on the left-hand side. There's a little tab for presets. And at the top, there is a plus sign. Now, all we got to do from here is click that plus sign and go to import presets. And those of you who know the old way to do this, this is so awesome, so much easier. All we have to do is go to our desktop or wherever your presets are stored. We will open that preset folder and you can import 50 presets at a time. You can import one at a time. I'm just going to import one for the purposes of this video. You could select more than one, obviously. But the one that I'm after is Fuji Velvia 50. So those of you who are from back in the film days, Velvia was this scrumptious film. It was this beautiful, came in Velvia 50 and Velvia 100. No one really liked 100 though. 50 had the ultimate color. And man, you use this film and it was like your image was instantly photoshopped and beautiful. It was just this amazing reds and greens and it was so rich. For landscape photographers, it was beautiful. It made people look like pumpkins, but landscape folks, it was a beautiful film, and this emulates that. So we're going to take that preset, I'm just going to select it and hit import. Again, we could select 10 of those at once if we wanted to, and then we're going to go to this presets tab over here on the left, and we can see there's a new entry called user presets. And if I open that up, boom, there's our Fuji Velvia preset, just like that. So that is easy. All we need to do from there in order to use it, it's just like a preset we created on our own, is click on it, and just like that, we will get that Velvia look on the photo. And honestly, like, I know VSCO does a good job, but that looks like Velvia. I mean, shooting lots of rolls of Velvia as a kid, that's what it looks like. And that's pretty cool. Like, just like that, we've emulated an old film from the film days. So A, pretty cool. But B, we haven't learned anything, right? Like this cool, like, sure, if I hit the wide-o-eye view, we made a cool photo, like, yay, Forrest, congrats, you know how to click a button. That's not excelling us, it's not teaching us, and it's not helping us craft our own style. If I just use the Velvia button on every single photo, it'll just look like I use the Velvia button. So what I would really recommend you do as a photographer, after you import a preset, is do a little bit about looking of what it does. Again, when you click that, all it's going to do is stuff in the basic panel for you. So what we need to do is we need to look at what VSCO is actually doing so that we can craft this ourselves sometimes and maybe modify it to better fit what we want. A, I think this is a little bit too saturated, and I honestly think that Velvia 50 in general, because it was back in the film days, is too saturated of a film for today's digital photographers. I think that amount of saturation looks a little garish. So I might take the saturation down a little bit and alter that preset, right? We might just bring it down, and then I'm gonna keep cruising down. We can see it gave us some contrast, but every time I use a preset, I would definitely do this. The tone curve, you're gonna see so much in the tone curve that they do. If we go into our channels on the tone curve and look at the red channel, you can see they're adding a bunch of saturation in the reds. Not saturation, but you know, the S curve for saturation. So they're basically taking the shadows and adding, or removing red from the shadows, adding red to the highlights. We can go to the greens and you can see they're doing the same thing. Blues, they're doing the same thing. So a lot's happening in that tone curve. And just to see what's going on, we could easily take one of those sliders and drag it around. You can see what happens to those flowers, what happens to the highlights. Essentially what the Velvia preset is doing is it's adding blue to the highlights and it's removing blue from the shadows, right? So that's really interesting. That's telling. If we turn on and off the tone curve, you can see how much of that preset is built just inside the tone curve. Well, put that into your memory bank. Maybe it's important to learn the tone curve, to take some time to really delve into that panel specifically so you can learn how to do these things, right? We keep cruising down. We can see a lot happened in HSL. Specifically with the hue and the luminance. They did a lot of adjustments there. Split toning usually is left alone. Yeah, there's nothing happening there. Details usually left alone unless they're going to add some sharpening or something like that, but that's kind of rare. Lens corrections is usually left alone. Transform is usually left alone. Again, the results may vary. Sometimes they'll add grain, right? They can see we're adding 15 grain here, right? So that is to make it look like film, have those little film grain pieces, okay? And again, this is one preset out of hundreds. What I want this to illustrate is just that you can break down what your preset that you just bought from your favorite photographer is doing, and you can learn how to emulate that in a way that's your own, not in a way that's theirs, right? And so we keep moving down. Camera calibration, this is another big spot. I would honestly say mostly basic, tone curve, HSL, and camera calibration are going to be the main 4 panels where presets are kind of really take charge, right? So down in camera calibration, this is the one we talked about in part 1 to create that teal and orange effect, right? We can take these hue sliders and just crazy change the hue in an image. We could add a lot more orange if we wanted to. We could add a lot more red. Like, we have total control. And again, what I would say is once you get this to a point where you like it even more, go over to the presets panel and create another preset, right? Save this. We can call this like Velvia that's better, right? So it's like a better version of Velvia, and we could hit check all so that we know that we have everything checked, or check the boxes that we adjusted. And again, if this confuses you, watch part 1. We hit create, and bam, now we have our original Velvia 50, the one that we bought from VSCO, and we have the Velvia that's better, that's been a recrafted version of that Velvia preset. Now, something I want to reiterate before we finish up this video, you need to realize that presets are very dependent on the photo you put into them. So if you put a photo in that's very warm to start with, and you make a preset that looks good with that, when you use that preset, you'll have to use it on other warm photos or it's not going to work as great. So you need to, what you put in's got to stay consistent in order for what you get out to stay consistent as well. And that's why some photographers will make different presets for different lighting conditions. You could have a preset for backlit, preset for front lit, preset for like cloudy days, all those different things. There's so many options you can do here. So hopefully this was helpful for you. You'll know how to import some presets, bring them into Lightroom. Again, if you don't see those import options, make sure you update your Lightroom. Also, take the time to learn what's happening. Understand it, really get it so that you know what you can do, you can know how to fix it, all right? Check out part 3 that will be coming. If you're watching this, a month from now, it will already be up. Part 3, we're gonna look at how to take presets from Lightroom and export them into Premiere in order to use for video, right? To actually use them as a video lookup table and color grade your video footage with Lightroom presets, which is a pretty cool thing to be able to do. All right, so if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. You disliked it, hit the dislike button. If you have a question, comment, concern, video idea, whatever it is, leave it in the comment section down below, and then hit the subscribe button up there or down there if you want to stay up to date with more videos. Thanks for watching. Woo! I love presets. They're so fun.